I'm Elahn, originally from Australia, so for the non-Australians in the room, I'll speak a little bit clearer and slower.
And louder.
Lately, I thought that I needed a style makeover, so I cut this hat. So I'm just wondering, firstly, I'm all about public opinion. What do you think? Is it okay? It looks like a Smurf's foreskin, I admit. It's just not going to work. Anyway. So, my story is titled Love Gone Wrong on a Bus in Jerusalem. Oh, you know this one? This happens to us all. So I made Aliyah about 3.5 years ago from Australia and moved straight away to a absorption centre in Jerusalem to be absorbed, as I think we all have after a few years of being here. And it was very difficult for me to meet the set of women that I would like to think I could get out and date. Firstly, because the women in the Merkaz Klita were mostly religious, and I was living in Jerusalem, so that didn't help because the rest of Jerusalem was mostly religious. But after a few months, I was getting a little bit toey and thought, well, something needs to be done. So I referred back to my the game and pick-up artist techniques and looked on YouTube and thought, okay, I'm 40, I'm single, and I have a cat. I'm going to have to get out there and make something up or try a little bit harder. So there's one time I'm on my way up to the centre of town and I've got my iPhone in listening to some music. I get on the bus and there's one spot open sitting next to what looks like a secular-looking person. Female. So I sat down next to her. She was also listening to her iPhone. I kind of leaned over and, how you doing? She smiled back. That was a good start. For me, anyway. And after about a few seconds, I kind of thought, come on, you know it happens in the first 3 seconds, otherwise forget about it. So I kind of said, hello, you speak English? And she did. She was from some European country just there on a program. And I said, what are you listening to? Is it interesting? Can I have a listen? So she said, sure. And I went, do you want to listen to mine? And she went, okay. So we swapped earbuds, and if you know the new iPhone earbuds, they tend to accumulate a lot of wax and other things. So when she accepted my earbuds and I took hers, I just thought, wow, we're sharing earwax. It's gonna happen. So I start listening to what she's listening to, and it's some nice folk, modern kind of folk rock, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, this is fantastic. She's got good taste in music. And I look over at her to see a look on her face that was like she'd seen a ghost. Just went white, and she was looking straight ahead, kind of paralyzed with fear. And very quickly she took out her earphones and gave it back to me, and I gave her back hers. And I thought, that was pretty quick. I mean, I usually last a lot longer on buses with sharing earphones, but anyway. And she was very quick to press the next stop button and was like, excuse me, and off she went, got off the next stop. And I'm there like, as in most cases, do I smell? Is it me? Let me check. When you're checking to see if you smell, it's not just as an easy like that. I don't want to give it away to everyone else that I'm checking to see if I smell okay. You have to make it a little less subtle, like pressing the button or pointing out the window. Wow, look at that. I smelled fine, so I had no idea what was going on. it's at this point that I just want to take a step back a few months. And what's that? That was 5 already? Okay, I better make this quick. I had always known that I talked in my sleep. And it wasn't until I found that you could download an app that would record yourself talking in your sleep that I realized what kind of talk and other sounds I was making between the hours of 12 and 8 a.m. And so this app was quite clever. It wouldn't record for 8 hours. It would record when it started to hear sounds. It just didn't think, you're talking, I'll record that. It was, he's shuffling in his sleep or he's coughing, I'm going to record that as well. So what this girl ended up hearing was an audio recording that made its way into my playlist among some jazz and rock and folk and all that. That sounded a little bit something like this. Now I just want you to like maybe close your eyes, or what I'll do, I'll kind of turn around and I'll kind of like give you an idea of when I very like lovingly gave her my earphones full of earwax of the kind of things she was hearing. And it kind of goes like this. Starts off with the turning left and right in bed, and then slowly you fall asleep, and then a voice comes out. It sounds like Mum, I can't do that. For some reason I'm eating in my sleep. I have no idea, because there's food in my bed in the morning, but I don't remember getting it the night before. And it goes on like that for a bit, and it sort of finishes with a bit of snoring and concludes with so I could understand the shock of when this girl listened to my recording and quickly got off the bus. So the moral of the story is, as you should all know by now, make sure you don't have any sleep farting recordings on your iPhone if you're going to share it with a total stranger on a bus. Thank you very much.